season finale of another season of The Girls, and we've been wanting to do a show on tattoos for a while now. And we're here at Underground Tattoo, and yours truly will be getting a tattoo later on the show.
This truly over here, not this
Always
truly.
the guinea pig. Always, with everything. This season we did a lot of amazing things though. And the one that comes to mind for me is, holding the snake. And then we had to go into a burning building, and we just keep upping the ante this season, I feel like.
Well, everything they want to see, we're doing.
Yeah, what
so
happened to the days where we just sat and got our hair done? I like those shows much.
Well, now that's before we come,
Yeah,
so,
that's before we come.
But you have to really get out there and do things that everybody else does. So we came here to Underground Tattoo, and it's so nice in here, Jeannine. It's like a little lounge where you could just chillax before you go in.
Yeah, Joe's really laid back, but he's definitely a great artist, and we want everyone to know about tattooing, what actually it means, some safety tips to take with you. And, I asked some people on Facebook about, getting a tattoo, and it is really interesting to see people's comments. That might mean that they have a strong view. It's almost like who you're voting for. They either had such a strong view of, yes, I'm for tattooing, or no, do not get that tattoo. Do not ruin your body, some people said. Other people said, it's the best thing ever did. Most people do it because they want to remember someone, or it's a meaningful symbol. And mine is actually going to be a meaningful symbol that's meaningful to our family.
That's right. In 1974, I was in a jewelry store, and I love jewelry, as everyone knows. And I saw a beautiful, beautiful piece of jewelry. It was very lattice looking, and I asked the jeweler what it was, and he said it was the hand of the Lord, and I have it on. And what I did was I actually enhanced it then. I took where the Lord was nailed to the cross in his 2 hands and feet, and I had 4 rubies put on one of each of the digits. And then in the side where he was stuck with the sword and the water came out, I have a diamond in the center. So my mother, God rest her soul, she always admired this on me. And so then in 1975, when you and Sammy were born, I bought her one like this, not enhanced, and she wore it all the time.
And now I have it, so now it's an heirloom piece.
Right.
But there are many meanings. I actually looked up about it's the Hamsa, and there's many names for the hand of the Lord.
Right, it depends on if you're going into the Hindu or if you're going into the Jewish. The Jewish call it the hand of the Lord.
But it's for all faiths, and the Hamsa hand is an ancient Middle Eastern symbol that symbolizes the hand of the Lord in all faiths. It is a protective sign. It brings its owner happiness, luck, health, and good fortune. And it's always been meaningful to our family, and I know some of my cousins even have the hand of the Lord, and I'm actually incorporating. These are like some of the jewelry that I've had over the years. I didn't want to bring it all, but I have the hand of the Lord, but I also I'm going to incorporate the evil eye, which is actually a good thing, and that's almost like your third eye, which is your intuition about people. And it's again, it's another symbol of protecting you and keeping bad spirits,
keeping an eye on you, letting people know that you have faith.
Right. So it's something that we believe in. It's something that's that will be passed down as far as the necklace, but it'll be something that will remind me of my childhood and growing up and all that fun stuff.
Of your Nana too.
I'm excited about this.
You had bought this for me as well. It's the hand, and it has the evil eye right on the center of it. And so that has a big significance today because you're going to incorporate that,
right, I
believe, into yours as well, aren't you?
Yes. So when we come back, we're going to meet with Joe Molinaro. He is the owner here. He's going to talk about some the safety tips, and we're going to show you what it's like if you were even thinking about getting a tattoo, permanent tattoo on your body.
Right. Well, we come back from break. We'll get right on with the tattoo. Let's see, Jeannine, if I can make a nice break here.
Getting some ink today on The Girls, the finale of this season, and we're with Joe Molinaro. He is the owner of Underground Tattoo, and we're excited to be here with you.
Excellent. Good to see you.
Excellent. So before we get started, if you could tell everyone about your background, how long you've been doing this?
About 16 years, full-time about 11.
Okay, so you do tattoos, you do piercings.
I don't do any piercings. We have a piercer in house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shredder, Jeff.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
So as far as your tattoos, if someone doesn't know what they want to get, you have some options for them here as well.
Lots. Yeah. We don't have any books to like reference.
Okay.
We like to have the input from the person, if they have even just a general idea, because that's, it has to come from the person, really. And I pick it out, that's not a good idea.
No.
Exactly. Well, I was looking at some of the work that you have done here, and what are some of your favorite things for you to do?
Anything fine line in this area here, realism. And I also like what we're going to be doing today. I have to kind of favor that, so you're not nervous, any more nervous than what you might be already. But, realism is cool. I like doing stuff like that. So
I guess it's great that Jeannine has one picked out and one in mind, and it means something to her.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I guess, just come in, they want a tattoo, they don't know what the heck to get. So what's one of the most popular things for a girl to get as the first thing?
Well, I mean, there's the infinity symbol is massive right now. That's colossal, and everybody's getting infinity. And the variations are ridiculous. Everything from like a fork ending it to like arrows and names and numbers, and but once again, they try to make it original. Exactly.
Right. I remember in my day it was a butterfly. Everybody was getting
Lots
either
of
a butterfly
butterflies.
or a rose. It was the butterfly and the
They're still out
rose.
there. They're still there.
So those are classics.
Well, I picked out the Hand of the Lord, and we actually talked about this. So when I, looked at ones that I wanted, the Hand of the Lord can actually be shown facing down or up. And you pointed out to me, when we were looking at this, that for this one, and you'll have a consult with them, I'm sure, like when they come in, and I'll be getting this on my hip. What did you point out as far as you actually thought I was going to get it face up, but I'm actually getting the hand face this way. So as you can see, the eye is an area that we will have to, improvise. You'll be improvising that where that it's right now upside down if I would wear like this.
Exactly. The artwork was, the design for you is because you want it this way, but the art was actually done this way because of the way that the eye is set up. The bigger eyelashes up top here and the way it's sitting, the pupil sitting up on the top there. So we're going to kind of turn it that way. And we're also going to be burying artwork, existing artwork.
Yes, I have a tattoo that I got when I was like 21 years old. I don't really hate it, but I'm glad we're incorporating in this because it'll still be, there. When I got it, it was a symbol that I liked and represented the signs of twins because I have a twin brother. So one's pink and one's blue. It's really small, but this is going to add to it. And, that's another point where we wanted to make. If you have a tattoo that you don't necessarily like, you can incorporate it or you can actually hide it with other tattooing.
Depending on the artwork, like we talked about that, there's others, we have to change a couple lines in there, and then you're going to bury your brother in there. So I don't know how he feels about that. Does he even know that? I mean,
he does now.
Well, it's great that you're an artist because, as Jeannine pointed out, she has several adaptations here and incorporations.
Right.
So you could really do anything, I guess. If someone just comes in, you can take their ideas and actually draw it out for them.
Absolutely. Depending on how flexible they are, because a lot of people aren't that flexible. They were just, I want this, I want that. And, if that's their vision, then a lot of times that kind of cuts the artistic end out.
I was explaining to my mom, I felt like when I came here for the consultation, which incidentally, my sister-in-law Lori was supposed to be coming for the tattoo. And when we came in, she had a tattoo, and it was nice to be here to see you kind of talk about what type of tattoo she wanted and where she wanted it. So explain, if you want a tattoo on your wrist, the placement of where you would actually have to put it, because I didn't really know that.
Well, you could go, if you were finishing a sleeve, if you were going to be doing, let's say, a nice Asian piece on your arm here, and it was going to be full of color and not like all little fine lines. What she was looking to do was very articulate, very tiny lettering, tiny numbers, small lines. If that's going to sit in that area, that first area, the crease of the wrist, everybody has their little creases in here. Everybody's got them, and you want to stay out of that area. If you're going to be doing something that's really small, where you can move it up a little bit. But if it was like something finishing with some color, so you don't have to really worry about that because it's going to go away no matter what.
So long story short, the two tattoos that you wanted, one on her wrist and one on her foot were too small for what she wanted to do. And then I pulled this sucker out, and his face lit up like it was Christmas morning. And I said, uh-oh,
Yep.
guess who's going to be getting this sucker next week?
Yep, good choice too.
Good choice. I'm very excited about this.
Me too.
We're going to show the process, and we're going to hopefully be able to talk through the process here when we come back. I know I had some mixed emotions on myself getting the tattoo. Again, I always say, and I said I would make my comments on the show, is, you know, be true to yourself, be true what you want to do, and, you know, I like this tattoo. I want to get this tattoo done, and I trust Joe's artwork.
And I'm here for moral support.
Excellent.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to get inked. Stay with us on the season finale of The Girls.
Welcome back to The Girls. We are at Underground Tattoo in Hazleton with Joe Molinaro, the artist, and Jeannine is going
Things
to
you
get
do for showbiz.
tattoo.
Anyway, we're ready to go, and Joe explained to me what we're going to do, the modifications that we
Right.
made to the tattoo. All right, and then my mom could ask you some questions while I take a nap here.
Absolutely, man.
Okay,
All
go
right.
to sleep.
All
You're in
right.
good hands
Go
with the
for it.
We're
Joe.
all here.
Right.
You've been sedated, right? Okay, good.
I'll hypnotize her.
Hypnotist. Let's roll.
Okay, so what are we doing first here? How do
Well,
you
we're going to
start?
do our outline first, but I got to change my glasses so I can see what I'm doing here.
That would be good.
We got to get our better spectacles on here because there's so many lights going on here. So these have anti-glare on them. So sorry about that. Now I can see what I'm doing.
Now tell me about this gun that you're using. You just dipped it in the ink. How does that actually put the ink on the skin?
It's a gravity feed, and basically, like when you have a drink, a soft drink in a restaurant, and you have a straw inside of it, you take it out, and there's still a little bit of liquid in the bottom of it. It's basically the same thing. It pulls the liquid up inside there, and then the machine is running at a really, really fast rate, and it just kind of slides down the needle grouping, and goes into our skin there, man. This is a rotary machine. It's not a traditional machine. Actually, this is the traditional style. Rotary was the original, but we ended up with coil machines. There's a real soft hit on it, very nice, and there's no cables, there's no nothing. It's a great machine.
Okay, and we didn't hit on something that I think a lot of people watching are concerned about is the sanitation of this.
Okay.
How safe is it? How sterile is it? I see you have gloves on. You had everything in your area all protected. You did use some alcohol on her skin, which you can't sanitize skin. We know that. But
Right.
how about the equipment?
All the equipment everything's disposable. Everything that we use in here is gone. The only thing that we of course, we don't reuse it, but I use our bottles here that are housed in our alcohol, our green soap, and our antiseptic. And everything else is gone, including our tubes. They're all disposable tubes. Our needles are going to a sharps container, and everything is fresh with each client.
Each client has their own. How you doing, Jeannine?
I'm good.
She's
Yeah.
fine. Look at
You're
man. She's getting
taller
ready to do
than
a whole
that.
back
Great. They
piece.
did a whole finger already.
I'm doing my whole back next, right, Joe?
That's right. Man. That's next. That'll be about 7 o'clock. We'll do that.
You'll have to get portraits of the family on there.
That's it.
So you have several colors now that are going to be used on Jeannine.
Mm-hmm.
Does each one adhere differently, or is it like
Sometimes,
they fade?
yeah, that's a good question. Sometimes they do. Depending on the person's their pigment and the toughness of the skin. Sometimes the consistency of the ink is different. So yeah, definitely some flow a little bit better. Her skin's nice and healthy. It's not even, it's not red or anything like that. So she'll be in good shape, I hope.
So if you have real dark skin, say if you have a real dark suntan, should you wait until your tan fades
Definitely.
before you do it?
You definitely ought to wait, because that's not going to give you a true color then. When that ink, once it heals in the middle of once you go to get that ink in the middle of the summertime, and then you'll go back to your natural color, sometime in September, October, your ink might not look too good.
And then what are some of the things after the tattoo? What she should or shouldn't do?
Well, when she leaves, what we'll do is we always have put a piece of saran wrap over the top of the ink, because it won't cling on to the artwork or the skin as it's coagulating. It's essentially a wound, and you don't want to have anything like paper product or anything like that sticking to it. Even gauze is not good. Years ago, that's what they would put, is gauze or a paper towel on it. And then you'd go home and take it off, you know, an hour later or 2 hours later, and then you'd see like this whole imprint of your ink on there. So we put the put the saran wrap on there, and that would stay on for about an hour. And then you start with your aftercare immediately following it, which would be washing with antibacterial soap and water, using just your fingers, and some mild soap and water. And once you get it nice and clean, you dry it with a paper towel. Don't use a hand towel or anything like that, because you don't know who used it last, unless it's a nice clean one. But even still, you don't want fibers going in there. And then you would start with your first dose of bacitracin or triple antibiotic. Or if you use something else in the past that worked for you, you know, we have people that have tons of ink, and sometimes, you know, they have more ink than what I've been doing. So their experience is more vast than what I have. So I just said, well, whatever you used in the past, just go with it, you know, because they have a good cure already going.
Now, you know, when we watch TV and we see some of the shows, you always see people going to get a tattoo if they've been out partying. So they were drinking, and
Right.
somebody decides, oh, that's a great idea. Let's all go get tattoos
That's a bad
because we're all,
idea.
you know, boozed up and we're not going to feel it. How good is that idea?
That's a bad idea.
And, you know, the permanency of that would be like walking into your dentist and saying, yeah, pull one of my teeth, you know, when you're drunk. I mean, it's a ridiculous thought, but I mean, it happens. And I try to stay out of that completely. You know, if somebody comes in there intoxicated, we won't work on them. I've sent a few people home, told them to come back later at a different time, reschedule them. You know, maybe they thought that we were going to be flexible with that, but we have zero tolerance for that stuff in the shop.
Now, the nurse in me makes me want to ask this question, that if you have alcohol in your system, it sort of thins your blood. So if you're drinking the night before and you still
That's a
think it's
definite.
okay to come in the next day, do you get bleeders?
Yep, that's a definite. That's the worst case scenario, is when somebody really pounded down the booze the night before, because their blood is very thin, no matter what. I mean, you know, I've had people that came in even with only like maybe, let's say, 4 or 5 beers in them or something, or a couple shots, and it affects the way that I'm working on it, because it'll have a more flow. You'll be pulling out, as you're wiping, you're going to be pulling more blood than you are ink as you're wiping.
Now, thank goodness we don't see any blood at all here today.
No, she's not. She's been a good girl last night, I guess, right?
Yes, I was. Talk about the who's allowed to get the tattoo, and then like the paperwork, the waiver that everyone has to sign.
As far as the waiver that we do, that's basically for the client's protection and ours, because there's certain medical conditions that people have that they shouldn't get ink if they're under a doctor's care. You know, epileptic, heart conditions, blood thinners, stuff like that. So
I was just going to ask about that, because you did mention before that you have, who's the oldest age of someone that you've done?
Yeah, 84, man.
84. So I'm sure she may have been on some blood thinners, who knows, whatever,
You would
but
think
she had to be
was, but
pretty
she wasn't on
healthy.
anything.
Wow.
Nothing. I mean, her skin, it was just looking just like Jeannine's hair. I mean, it was just perfectly healthy.
So you had
Incredible.
84-year-old
I'll take that as a
Jeannine.
compliment.
It was a compliment. You should take that as a compliment. It's a compliment for her,
compliment
too.
to the lady
it's,
as
it's
well,
two ways
right?
there. But
So if someone gets a tattoo and then they decide the next day, uh-oh, what did I do? How difficult is it to undo a tattoo?
it's really difficult. It's not an easy process, man.
You only live once.
Yeah. Yeah, the process is it's pretty tough and very painful from what I understand. I've never had one removed, so I couldn't tell you firsthand. I have a few friends that had them removed, and we're just like, it's like the worst
Yeah,
experience they
it
ever
is.
had, you know. So
We
I don't really know what it entails.
Yeah.
But there's been some stories, I mean, that were shared, and they sounded pretty extreme. I know I wouldn't want to go through it. So.
I think, Jeannine, you did a show with Dr. Schleicher showing the laser remover of the tattoos, and looked kind of painful. But so far, so good, right, Nina? You're tolerating it okay?
It's not that bad.
Well, that's great.
Gentle touch.
She's got it now.
So we have you nicknamed the Gentle Touch. What's the percentage now? We have a girl here, and we talked about your oldest client was 84. What's the percentage of women to men in your business?
In my shop itself, I don't know what the percentage is out nationally or anything like that, but I know in the shop, if we were to go through my book, my appointment book, it's about 75% women.
Wow.
And I'm okay with that. I mean, that's okay, for multiple of reasons.
So you'd rather, work on women than men?
I guess I probably, there is a certain, women could handle the pain a lot better than guys could, at least as far as I've seen it. I think their metabolism is different, or their nerve structure is different, whatever you want to look at
Well,
it.
we do give birth, so.
There you go, man. That sums it up right there.
The tolerance. I think it's a God-given gift to tolerate not only pain, but men we have to tolerate, and kids, and we have to do 50
I'll be
things
nice.
at one
Joe's
time.
working on me right
There
now.
you go. I
So there you
appreciate
go.
that.
No, but I mean, that's just a God-given talent. We can multitask and whatever. So Jeannine could actually talk, do a show while she's having a tattoo.
right,
I mean,
man.
that's a feat.
Exactly. Initially, when you first get ink, you don't want to go right into a pool. You don't want to go into salt water. Lakes have bacteria. Salt water dries the skin. Chlorine, same thing. Plus, that you're going to a public pool, you have a lot of different stuff in there. You got a lot of bad liquids floating around in a public pool.
So that's all an immediately after
Right.
one. So for how
For
long
3
do you
weeks,
think?
4 weeks.
For the first month, really be really careful. And then
Yep.
for like the longevity of the tattoo, I guess as good as you take care of it, that's how long it's going to last.
Exactly.
With the colors and the vibrancy. Well, we're going to be here for a while until Jeannine has all of this tattoo done. The hand of the Lord, all the details. So
great.
you're going to have to check to the end of the show and check on our Facebook page. The girls watch us on ssptv.com. And if you would like to get a tattoo, just go to the Underground Tattoo. You can get their phone number, give Joe a call, and come up with your own creation. Jeannine, what would you like to say in closing before we say goodbye?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right, well, you'll get to see the result at some point. Keep watching because you never know where you're going to find the girls. Thanks for joining us.